Hi, it's Mr. Smith, and we're going to go over the syllabus in this video. And I just want to point out this is, I'm making this video for an online course, but I am also teaching a face-to-face course, and everything applies except for I do have an office location and some other things, but we'll talk about that in class. But everything else is pretty much the same. So the focus here will be for the online course. So notice when it comes to contacting your instructor, we get back to you guys within 24 hours. At least that's our policy. I'm normally much quicker than that, but if for some reason it's been more than 24 hours, please send me another email. I won't be offended, and I will actually be apologetic because I normally will get back to you sooner than that, much sooner. So you have my contact information. Notice my name is Scott Smith, and my name Scott is spelled with one T, and that's where I get my nickname, 1T. You can call me Mr. Smith or 1T. I don't mind if you call me Scott. You can see my email address there. It's right there, scottsmith@dallascollege.edu. This is a phone number where you can reach me if you want to have a conversation. If you just want to send a message, the email is the best. And this actually is my office location if you're ever at Brookhaven College, or the campus, I should say, of Brookhaven for Dallas College. And for this online course, office hours will be done virtually by appointment. So that seems to be the best way to help students is let me know, send me an email, let me know when you're available, and we'll figure out a time. And because otherwise it's just hard to get students to come to a certain time because everybody's got different schedules. If you need to get a hold of the division for some reason, you can use that link there. And there's their phone number. This is the course information. This is a developmental math course, MATH0305. This is our section number 51434. And again, this is an online course. We'll talk about the certification date in a little bit. That's September 2nd. Last day to withdraw from this course, and you get a W on your record instead of a grade, is November 9th. Of course, you want to make sure you don't do that too frequently. You only get so many of those in Texas. But before you withdraw, please consider talking to me, and there's some other people listed here that you may need to discuss, especially if you're getting financial aid. You know, sometimes in the middle semester, you can be discouraged and make a what's the word? a decision without thinking too much about it, giving it enough thought, and you know, maybe we can help you make it through things, and there may be a reason why you'd be better to stick the course out. And so anyway, what you don't want to do is just stop showing up and, you know, give up, leave the college, but because a lot of times what happens, students come back a couple years later and they find they're on academic probation. You never know what the future holds, so please, if you do drop or if you do stop attending, please do it correctly. Please withdraw and take care of business, and you may thank me later for that. Let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Not really a whole lot I want to talk about here. You can read the course description if you're interested in what we're going to be covering. These are outcomes that we are expecting students to leave with here. And there's the 305 course description. So those are things you can read on your own if you're interested. These are the outcomes for the Math 305 course. And then the Texas core objectives. These are things that we promote in all of our classes, and we hope our students leave with these skills or better in these areas. Like for us, critical thinking skills, I really hope when you leave this course, you'll feel like you've made some progress there. But there's a bunch of things there. You should be familiar with those. You'll find this on every syllabus that you have. All right, we have required materials for our course. And we do this through the Include-Ed program, which what that means is it used to be in the past you would pay for tuition and then you'd pay for your books. Now it's all included in one. That's what we call the Include-Ed program. You can click on that link and find out more about it. In the past, students sometimes opted out because they thought maybe they could get a better deal by doing that. And I'll just tell you, I've seen students try doing that. You're not going to save any money, and it could create some real headaches. So I highly recommend that you do not opt out. And here is our textbook. Let me go down a little bit. So this is the textbook that we're using. It's a good textbook. You won't have a physical copy. You'll have it in My Math Lab. I'll show you in the My Math Lab video where you can actually purchase a book if you want. It's basically a paper copy, loose leaf. So if that's something you're interested, it'll be in that video. For a calculator, this is the calculator that I'll be using and the one that I'll be recommending. My goal is that if you're not comfortable with the calculator, that you will become very comfortable with this calculator. You can use other calculators. I highly recommend this one for some reasons, and especially, well, since you'll be going on to, at some point, a college level math course, it's nice to have a calculator that does a lot of nice work, and it's easy to use and you're comfortable with it. That's the most important thing with the calculator. All right, let's look at graded work. So you'll notice for the BASM part of the course, the 0053, basically this is your grade after test 2. That's what determines your grade for the BASM 0053 part. Notice your homework is 15%, your quizzes are 15%, and the last 70% is divided in 2 for test 1 and test 2. So that's how your BASM grade is determined. Basically, we're going to be doing all the work in one place, and so even though it's 2 courses, we're really going to be working in one place in the MATH0305 course. So that's how you'll get your grade for BASM 053. What about 0305? Well, notice the percentages are different. This is more in line with what you'll see in a traditional college level math course. So 10% for homework, 10% for quizzes, 60% for tests, and 20% for the final. And this is the traditional grading scale. You will notice there are no D's. These are not considered college level courses, and it's really you have to pass or fail. There are no D's. So make sure you're doing C work. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the graded work. So notice here it talks about with homework. You know, in My Math Lab, it's nice. You can do a problem and you'll know if it's right or wrong. If it's wrong, you can get feedback. There might be videos. There's some other features that I'll show you in the My Math Lab video. But I still will always tell students it's important to do work on paper. It's one of the ways that we learn is by writing things out and seeing them. And the nice thing is if you're taking notes, we might cover 3 sections and then there's a quiz. So before you take your quiz, break out your notes, just kind of look through those 3 sections and just kind of look things over and then take your quiz. And anyway, it just has a way of making a difference, especially long-term, learning things and retaining it, remembering it. For quizzes, notice that you get up to 2 chances to take it. You get 60 minutes to take each quiz. And really, these are going to help you to see if you're learning the material, if you're going to be prepared for the test. And what you're really looking for here is to try to do the work without looking at any notes. You might want to look at your notes the first time and then maybe not the second time. But that's the whole goal, is the quizzes are going to tell you or show you whether you're prepared or not for the test. Are you able to do the work without looking at notes? Because you won't have notes on the tests. All right, so notice we have 6 tests. Each is worth 100 points. You can only take those once. We will be using the lockdown browser, so I'll give you directions for that before we take the first test. Notice if you get an average of 75% or better on the homework, at the end of the semester I will drop your lowest test score. So if you have a bad day and you have a bad test, this is your out. And by the way, 75% is pretty low. I probably should have made it about 80. I have a lot of students that get 90 to 100% on their homework and quizzes throughout the course, and they tend to be quite successful. So hope that you'll shoot higher than that, but that's the minimum in order for me to drop your lowest test score. As far as late work policy for quizzes and homework, if it's late, it's 25% off. So I want to really encourage you to get your assignments done on time and not get behind, but I will allow you to get some points afterwards. It's just there will be a penalty. Let's talk about communication, especially in an online course. This is very important. I'm going to be making a lot of announcements in eCampus, or Brightspace is what we're calling. Instead of with Blackboard, it's with Brightspace now. So we want to make sure you're getting those. So you want to make sure you're checking your school email address, and all communication between you and I is supposed to be done through that school email. That's Dallas policy. Please make sure you do this. You're going to be way ahead of the game, or you're going to be behind the game if you don't do this, but I can't tell you how important this is. I've watched students the last 3 semesters, there's always a handful that don't seem to get the memo, and they're not getting my emails. They don't know what's going on. They're failing or doing poorly because they're not responding. Anyway, all to say, please make sure you're doing that. And again, there's some contact information down here if you need to get a hold of me or if you have any questions. And let's see, what else do we have here? Just about done. Attendance, participation. So this is an online course, so of course it's different than if you're in person. For those that are in person watching this, for you it's a little bit different. We'll talk about that in class. But for those of you that are in an online course, since you're not coming to class, this is how you participate. So you must enroll in my math lab and complete the week 1 assignments. Those are the ones in the first box on the schedule, which we'll see in just a minute. So basically up to the percent assignment by Friday, September 1st. Please get that done so that I can certify you as attending the course. If you're getting financial aid, it'll be a real problem if you're not getting certified. Now I want to point out, this is the minimum requirement for certification. To be on schedule in the course, you should complete all the assignments up to assignment 2.4 by September 3rd. You'll see that in just a minute. So here's our institutional policies. This is college-wide. These are some of the topics: disability services, dropping classes, repeating classes, Title IX, and so on. So click on there if you haven't before and check things out. Make sure you're familiar with what our policies are, so there's no issues, no problems. You know exactly what's expected. So I do reserve the right to make changes to the syllabus if I need to, or the calendar, depending on how things go this semester. And if I do, I will let you know. All right, so now let's look at the calendar. So I was just saying that the week 1 stuff, that's this first week in the first box here, this is what's due for certification. Now notice it's actually due on the 27th, but sometimes I have students that start a little bit late for whatever reason, and I do give you till the 1st to get this done in order to get certified. Notice by the end of the second week, Sunday the 3rd, September 3rd, you should be done with 2.4. So I would really highly encourage you to make it your goal to get your assignments done on time and to stay on schedule. If you're doing that, you're going to give yourself a very good chance to pass the course. It's not a guarantee, but it definitely makes a huge difference, and the people that don't do that tend to be the ones that don't make it. Let's just look at one more thing. You'll notice in week 4, that's when you have your first test. Notice your review is going to be due, and also your test is due on Saturday. Notice we also have this other assignment that will be due on Sunday. Now, I would highly encourage you not to wait till Saturday to get your test done. In fact, if you could get it all done before the weekend even gets here, then you can enjoy the weekend math free. So anyway, that's all I have to share with you. If you have any questions, please let me know. That's it for this video.